Hey guys, my name's Lindbergh.
And I'm Carissa, and we're Gone Dirtin'. And this is our 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser Troop Carrier RV that we just got in from Australia. Woo!
So this is our new Troopy, which we got from Australia not too long ago.
Yeah, and it took a while for us to get this car. Like, we've been wanting a troop carrier for, gosh, what, at least 2 years?
At least 2 years, yeah.
And it took a long time for us to find the right one, and then also just, you know, financially getting ready for it. And, you know, we've never shipped a car overseas before or purchased anything from that far. So just figuring out the logistics of that took some time, and we're stoked that it's finally here on a U.S. soil.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And well, if you follow us on Instagram, you know we've had a Mitsubishi Montero that we've overlanded North America for a long time now, and we figure it's time for an upgrade. But if you haven't seen that video yet, just click somewhere over here.
Yeah, we love our Montero, and you know, it's built out great for how we've had it, and we're so stoked for the troop carrier because we're finally going to have interior space, which is something Lindbergh and I have been wanting for a bit since we've been on the road here and there for longer term trips or even shorter term trips. Like, anytime we run into crappy weather, like, it's really nice to be able to bundle up somewhere out of the weather and shelter and be able to work on our laptops.
Oh man, I can't wait for that heater to come in, but like, that's a long ways from now.
I just want to be horizontal on a couch with my dogs, maybe a laptop next to me. Like, it's raining or snowing outside and I'm like cozy. That all sounds great.
Yeah. So this is exactly how it came off of a ship from Australia, and we're gonna give you a quick walk around of what it's like right and as is before we start working on it with our own vision.
It's completely getting torn apart, but we can at least show you what it's like now, and then you'll be able to see what it's like after we're done.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Should we start with the driver's seat? Show them.
Yeah, let's start the driver's seat.
Wrong side.
Wrong side.
Wrong side. Wrong side.
Or right side.
Right side. So it's right-hand drive, which we wanted left-hand drive so bad. Like, I can't even tell you how, which kind of made the whole process longer, and that's why we had been looking for a troop carrier for a while, like we had said before, and I was very set on left-hand drive, and finally I caved and said, we're just gonna have to do right-hand drive because it was much easier to find. Left-hand drive is tough because this specific truck, it's a 1HZ?
1HZ.
1HZ.
Z.
Yeah, and because it's a 1HZ, it's like a great engine, very reliable. It's a 5-speed. A lot of left-hand drives we were looking at are a 1PZ, I think.
Which is a 5-cylinder 4-speed.
Yeah, it's a 4-speed, and we test drove one, and after that we were like, right-hand drive, we want the 1HZ, which you can find in left-hand drive. It just, we were becoming impatient. We were just ready to have interior space and have the truck in our hands and just start getting the build going. So yeah, we're excited. It took a while to get used to right-hand drive, but honestly, it's fine. It's a breeze.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about, like, let's just show off the seats here.
Oh, well, I gotta move for that.
Yeah. So here we go. These are the seats that it came with. They are beautiful, actually.
They're very 90s. It's great.
Yeah, it's got a front bench actually, which we're gonna replace both of these, but the front bench is nice.
The bench is great. We've already had 3 people sit across, and it's actually really comfortable. It has 2 seat belts for a passenger in the front. I don't know if you can see the back seat. So the back seat is actually a bench as well, which is really unique for a troop carrier. Normally there's a bench on this side and a bench on this side to where they fold up, and that's why it's technically called a troop carrier, because it'd be 2 benches on each side facing each other.
And so, like, the reason it's called a troop carrier, for those that don't know, is that basically everywhere that isn't the United States, they use these to transport troops from the UN, and they also use them as ambulances and fire engines and all these other things. Basically, this is the workhorse of the world, and we wanted that reliability for ourselves because of our travels. But yeah, so that's why they called it a troop carrier. I think they held like 12 people like in this thing. Crazy.
Yeah, at least I think they were technically like a 12-seater vehicle. Yeah. Which is also why we wanted it, because it's a workhorse. You can put so many miles on these engines. This specifically doesn't come turbo. If you do turbo it, of course that is gonna like cut down the longevity of it, but low boost, you're good with a turbo. It'll last a long time as well. But because it's NA, which is naturally aspirated, no turbo, it just is going to run forever. Like you can put 400 plus miles.
It is not as peppy as our Montero, but it's good enough. Yeah.
I feel like that has to do a lot with like a little bit, the Montero being a little bit more modern versus, you know, they still make these trucks just like this.
This thing came out in 1985 and it never changed.
Yeah.
Till 2006, and in 2006 they literally just barely did anything. It's the same thing.
Suspension mostly, right?
Yeah, it's
and
suspension
a little
mostly,
bit more like electronics.
Yeah, so it hasn't changed from 2005 or 1985 all the way to now. So it hasn't changed at all.
We might have our numbers wrong, so like don't be too particular, guys.
Yeah. So let's talk about. So this thing came with
a snorkel. It came with all-terrain tires. It also came with the locking hubs, right? Is that what they're called?
Yeah. So it did come with front lockers, which we never had in our Montero, and we've never needed. But
and it came with the TJM bull guard bumper, and also these side fender flares or side fender bars, which protect the fenders. We're really not sure what style we're gonna have this thing look like. We're gonna keep it like this for now and build out the interior and probably assess the exterior once we're ready to tackle that. It also came with HID lights, which we'll be replacing as well. And it came with a Warn winch, which is really cool, you guys. We don't have a winch on the Montero. We've never needed a winch on the Montero. We're not rock crawlers, but you know, knowing this is here, if we ever like are on a trail and we need it, we have it, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and then one of the main reasons why we went this specific troop carrier, which is this right here, the troop carrier RV, is because it has dual tanks.
Yeah. So inside, which I could have showed you guys, it's fine. It's like a button that you can press, and whenever this tank is empty, we can switch to the other tank, which this thing will get us, what, 1,200 miles?
Something like that.
Something like that.
We're going to correct it in the text.
We need to figure it out eventually, but it's something around there. It's a lot of liters of diesel, not petrol.
So it did also come with a 2-inch lift. It's hard to see. It's a Tough Dog suspension 2-inch lift. So far, we like it. We'll see. Once we load everything up,
it needs weight on it. Like right now it's very bouncy, but that's because it's empty. So we're gonna have a full build out inside that's gonna weigh it down, and I think it'll be really comfortable. I don't think we're really gonna have to much with that.
Yeah, let's go around the back.
Okay. So it came with this awesome drawer system, which was built by the original owner. You can slide these open. It also has this awesome thing for a fridge.
Sweet fridge slide.
Yeah, and it feels so good, which, you know, we don't have a fridge in the Montero like this, so it's pretty neat to have that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the sad thing is, we're getting rid of it.
Yeah, everything's being taken out, but it'll find good homes, and that's like the main thing. Like we want to try to have people use as much as they can that we're taking out of this. It even has these really cool fishing pole rod holders, which is very Australian. Being able to go fishing on like the ocean or wherever you go.
It did have these cool lights right here too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we really dig this like interior. If we weren't looking for interior space, this is pretty solid and ready to go.
Like we could have interior space. I see a lot of people build these out where, you know, as it is, you could have like a mattress and everything.
So yeah, we just want to take a moment and just like talk about what we're gonna do to this thing, for one, why we got this thing, and these are our two dogs.
Yeah. Our two dogs, this is Stella and this is Kaya, and they travel with us too. So having interior space is going to be really nice because I can cuddle with them, which I could do in the rooftop tent before, but I don't know, it'll be nice if somebody wants to Well, I guess I haven't talked about what we're doing, so
Let's talk about what we're
getting
doing.
ahead of myself.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So yeah, so one of the main things we're gonna do this thing is we're sadly gonna cut this roof off.
It's going.
It's going, and we're gonna put a pop top on. And a pop top is we're gonna be able to stand inside, but also sleep, and we're gonna have this great, like, it's gonna basically double our living space within here, and it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, and there's definitely the option of not cutting the roof. A lot of people have built these out where you can, you know, have like your bed on one side and like all your stuff stored on the other side. But we personally like wanted a little more room than that. It is 2 people, 2 dogs, so like having an upstairs space is going to be great.
Yeah, yeah. And we do work on the road, and we're hoping to work on the road even more. And having that interior space, we've realized, is gonna go a long way, because there's a lot of times in the Montero when we do have work to do and there's bad weather out, and we are just literally sitting in the front 2 seats of our Montero, and we're working. And it's comfortable, but it's not a place you really want to be sitting for a long periods of time and working.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so apart from cutting the roof, we're also gonna build out the inside. And we kind of have a general idea of what we want to do. We want to have this side as like a kind of a bench storage area.
With a slide, so we'll have like a slide out as well. To, like,
that's to be decided, I think.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, everything is very, very rough right now.
Potentially there will be a slide on either side.
Potentially.
Okay.
And then this side is going to be the like the kitchen counter, the stoves, and then we're hoping to have a sink. We're not 100% sure yet.
Yeah, we're sure a stove.
For sure a stove.
A stove, and then an outdoor stove as well.
We're gonna. I'm hoping to have 2 stoves.
Extra on that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have an indoor stove for when the weather's bad, or if like anything I just want to cook inside, or we can have an outdoor stove when I could just. I love cooking outside. One of the main attractions of us eating, like going on the road, is cooking outside and eating outside. So that's something that I don't want to compromise on. So we're gonna have 2 stoves. Still deciding what stoves, and on inside and on outside, everything. And then we're gonna have a diesel heater, which is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. We travel a lot in the winter, especially because our
seasons.
Our
so
seasons.
We're both automotive photographers, and it does get slower for us during the winter months, and that's kind of when we find ourselves traveling more on the road.
Yeah, to be able to camp.
And
sometimes we're in snow, and gosh, diesel heater's gonna be so comfy.
It's gonna be so comfy, and the girls are gonna love the heat too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and other than that, we're gonna have big electrical system. We're gonna be solar panels, all the usual accoutrements of an overland vehicle.
Yeah. Once we really start digging into it,
yeah.
I mean, we've already kind of like planned things out, but we really need to just like get in, figure out, like build like a rough setup of what we're thinking, so we can get the idea of it. Because I feel like with the Montero, we were able to start with like just some bins here and there, and then we had like a shelf and everything. We kind of like put ourselves into the Montero first, and we were able to see what we needed. Versus with the Troopy, we really don't get that opportunity. It's kind of like figure out what you want, how you want it, because you build it once and you're done.
Quite. I mean, you can figure it out. Yeah, but
like,
yes, for the most part,
like heights of things, how we want cabinets to be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I feel like because of that, it's very different from the Montero.
Yeah, so it has to be a lot more planned out, especially now that we've been traveling on the road for like 4 years now, and we kind of know what we want because we've been doing this so much. I think we have 200 nights in our rooftop tent in the Montero, and so I'd say that's a good like barometer of like we kind of know what we want.
Yes.
So yeah, and there's that, and then also maybe there's a giant wish list of maybe having a litter box in this thing because we have a cat at home. We'll see, and he might start traveling with us. That's like 5% possibility.
The only thing that sucks about that, you guys, is our cat is toilet trained, so he actually doesn't go into a litter box. So then we are reverting back to the litter box.
Yeah, we're like, yeah.
And he's toilet trained.
We
don't want to lose that.
Yeah. So like, do we get a toilet for this thing? You know, like, do we need a toilet? Yeah. Like, are we gonna get a toilet with a bidet? You know, all this other thing. We're getting real fancy, right? So, the cat thing is highly up in there. We're not 100% sure yet.
Yeah.
We're not even like 15% sure on this one yet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So that's kind of our general idea of what's going on here. And yeah, I think that
pretty much sums it up.
That sums it up.
If you guys have any questions about the Troopy or any questions about what we're going to be doing with our build, just hit us up. Let us know what you guys think or have comments on, or if you have any advice because you've built out something yourselves and you wish you did this or that different, like let us know.
Well, we've been doing a lot of research with the Australians. You guys have been doing this for a long time. You guys know how to do it right. So Lots of research from Australia.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're really excited to finally get this thing started. We're gonna start ripping stuff apart.
Yep.
We're gonna put the new wheels on. Not new wheels, the Montero's wheels are gonna go here, which is, what wheels do we have?
The Volk Racing T37.
The best wheels in the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's that.
They're very genuine.
And we're just gonna go from there. Start building this out. I'm gonna start chronicling and capturing everything we start doing to build out.
Yeah. And we're hoping to finish this by early spring, hopefully, because we want to be able to get on the road and be on the road for a good bit of time in 2021, which is the year we're in now.
So we're gonna start doing a little bit of things here at home in our home, and then we're gonna travel to her family shop in Victoria, Texas, and we're gonna finish off everything there. We're gonna do all the major build outs there, and we're gonna cut the roof off there, and yeah, let's go from there.
It's gonna be quite the project.
It's gonna be an undertaking.
Really excited. It all starts with taking this out, the bench out, and then, really stripping it bare for the most part.
She thinks we're gonna take 2 months in Texas, but I'm gonna say 4 weeks. Let's put a bet on it.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
There's just no way, guys.
So let us know who's the wrong one here.
Something always goes wrong. Let's be ideal, you guys. Let's be ideal.
So yeah, like, subscribe, all that other stuff, and until that, we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Kaya, can you speak? Thank you, Stella. Kaya, can you speak? Are you a good girl? Speak. Are you a good girl? Oh, you're a good girl. Mwah. I love you. Do you love me? Kiss me. Oh, thank you. So sweet.